Welcome back to Stuttering Sports. Today is March 9th, 2021, and today is my mock draft 1.0. This is the before free agency mock draft, so what this is basically if the draft were to happen right now. For example, we don't know what the Dolphins are going to do this free agency. Let's say they sign a linebacker. Let's just say they get 2 wide receivers. I still could have them picking a wide receiver at 3 and 18. Who knows? That is just a little example. This is pre-free agency. This is if the draft were to happen today. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Number 1 overall pick, Jacksonville Jaguars. Without a doubt, Trevor Lawrence. I already made a video about the Jaguars the other day, so if you want to hear more in-depth stuff about that, go check out that video. Number 2 overall pick. I've been a big believer in picking Penei Sewell and just solidifying the tackle position, getting him with Mekhi Becton. I've been a massive believer in that, and I still think it's a great idea. But the more I think about it, the more that I know that we all know, Darnold and the Jets just need a shift. It just, for whatever reason, just doesn't mesh together. Maybe it's New York. Maybe the Jets have horrible management. Maybe it's both, which I think it's both. But yeah, I do think they go QB here. And do I like Fields or Wilson more? I'm a big fan of Zach Wilson. Give me him with the number 2 pick. Jets get a new franchise quarterback. Number 3 overall pick. Here are the Dolphins. Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle are all on the board. They're in such a great spot. I already made a video about the Dolphins last week. It's about 20 minutes, so if you are a Dolphins fan, go check that out. I really like the idea of picking Penei Sewell here. I do get that passing up on all these great skill position players is definitely weird. Like, it's definitely like, damn, why would you do that? But I really think helping out the offensive line for both protecting Tua and we really don't know what Tua is, so I think you need to get a running game going. I really think you need to get a rushing game just solidified. You already have Gaskin. The offensive line, it just gets bolstered up there, getting the best tackle in this draft. I really think this offensive line needs to be solidified for protecting Tua and giving him a rushing game, because he may be a play-action QB like Jared Goff was, or maybe he's a Russell Wilson. We don't know, but prepare for the worst. Number 4 overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons. Every mock draft has them going quarterback. I even see here, team needs quarterback. I don't see it. Matt Ryan's under contract for like 2 more years, and no fucking chance. There is no chance you're going to be able to trade that guy. Who's gonna take on Matt Ryan's contract? Maybe the Bears, if they're just gonna panic for one season. Like, who is gonna take on Matt Ryan's contract? And why would Justin Fields sit for 2 to 3 years? That is such a shit show waiting to happen. Like, oh my gosh, this happens every draft where there's like a veteran QB, then they draft a younger QB, and by like week 6, the veteran QB starts being mediocre, then it's like, oh, you gotta get Fields in, or it happened with Mitchell Trubisky in, and then it's just like, well, now you got a bad contract sitting there. So I don't see them going Justin Fields. And by the way, fucking Matt Ryan was not the problem with that team. Their garbage defense was. Give me Micah Parsons to help out that said garbage defense. Number 5 overall pick, the Bengals. They could get Jamar Chase to link up Burrow and Jamar Chase again. I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. They could go Kyle Pitts. They do need a tight end. With Penei Sewell off the board, it definitely does hurt them a lot. But I still think they go sick. Yes, just zoom in. But I still think they go tackle. Give me Rashawn Slater, tackle/guard from Northwestern. If they can get an offensive lineman with the 5th pick and then sign Joe Thuney, that would be massive. That would be so cool to see. I really hope that they do that. And the reason I have them like reaching for Slater is because you cannot ignore this offensive line problem. Like, yeah, dude, Jamar Chase would be super fun to watch, but they already have Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. Like, it's not like they need offensive linemen. Like, nah, they're good. I mean, shit, excuse me. It is not like they need wide receivers. They need offensive linemen. So, yeah. With number 6 overall pick, the Eagles, they're all in on Jalen Hurts. You need to surround this guy with weapons. I mean, lucky for them, every weapon is still on the board. I'm a big fan of Kyle Pitts. I think he's the best weapon this draft has to offer. He's so dynamic. He's so fun to watch, and now with Zach Ertz being, basically as good as gone, you need to get a tight end there, and that's where he comes in. Number 7 overall pick, the Lions are most likely losing Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones Jr. Also, lucky for them, they got all the wide receivers on the board. Give me Jamar Chase. He is the best wide receiver in this draft class, in my opinion. Number 8 overall pick. I mean, hell, the writing's on the wall that they're getting a quarterback. Like, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater's out of there 1 year into his 3-year deal. I don't know how they're going to do it. They might just have to cut him or something. But, yeah, you get Justin Fields in there. I think Matt Rule and Joe Brady definitely want to go a different direction. And, with Christian McCaffrey hopefully going to be healthy for the 2021 season, that'd be super fun to watch. Fields, Moore, and McCaffrey, and hopefully Curtis Samuel comes back. Number 9 overall pick, we have the Denver Broncos. I'm sure Trey Lance is definitely an interesting pick here because they're all in on getting a QB that's not named Drew Lock. I don't see how you bring back Drew Lock at this point, considering how his confidence must be hurt. But I don't think that Drew Lock is as good as gone like Teddy Bridgewater is. I still think you could bring him back and be like, hey, we're all good here. We already gave you weapons. Just get the team healthy and we'll see from there. I think they got to go cornerback, and my favorite cornerback is Patrick Surtain. I definitely think he's more technically sound, if that's a term, than Caleb Farley. I do think Farley has more upside, but when you're in a division with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman, Nelson Aguilar, I could go. They really need cornerback help, and with A.J. Boye gone, yeah, they got to get a cornerback. Speaking of teams that need a cornerback, Dallas Cowboys, get Caleb Farley in there. He is the second best cornerback in this draft. You link him up with Trevon Diggs. That secondary desperately needs it. So yeah, now you have a 1-2 cornerback punch, and hopefully it can work out. Number 11 overall pick, the Giants. Without a doubt, they're going skill position player. I don't see them going edge rusher, cornerback, as they could use those really badly. But I think they got to go receiver here, Waddle or Smith. I'm going to go Devontae Smith. I do personally like Jalen Waddle more, but I think the idea of bringing in the Heisman winner into New York, into one of the biggest name teams, I really think it's just too good of an idea to pass up on. That's a big money maker. Number 12 overall pick, the 49ers could get rid of Jimmy G and pick Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. I don't see it happening. I do probably think Jimmy G's gone, though, but I do think that Shanahan wants to bring in a different guy. Who do they bring in? Richard Sherman's definitely gone. I really like the way J.C. Horn plays. Some may consider it a reach. I personally don't. J.C. Horn with the 12th overall pick. The 13th pick, the Los Angeles Chargers. They could do what the Cowboys did last year and just say, fuck it, we're picking Jalen Waddle, the way the Cowboys just said, you know what, we don't need receivers, but fuck it, this dude CeeDee Lamb is really good. They could do that. I would not be opposed to them doing that one bit. Well, actually, I guess I would, because their offensive line is straight buns. Give me Christian Darrisaw, tackle from Tech. The reasoning behind Darrisaw and not the other tackles that are in this draft is simply because he has the highest upside, in my opinion. I really like him. And let's just say they hit that draft pick. It's kind of high risk, not really, because he's going to be good regardless. But I think his potential is through the roof. And let's just say that draft pick hits, then you got Herbert and Darrisaw for 10-15 years, and that is oh my gosh, that's something. Whew, that'd be sick. Number 14th overall pick, the Vikings. The Vikings are in a shit spot, so I think they either need to help out the D line, but do you really want to reach for one of these guys? I guess Kwity Paye wouldn't really be a reach, but I still think their offense could use more help. And let's face it, like the part of their offense that works really well is the rushing game. I think the passing game, it's just going to continue to be with Kirk Cousins there. There's not really much you can do about that. And the defense, I think they could do a lot during free agency. So give me Elijah Vera Tucker, guard from USC, to help out that rushing game. And, well, they don't have a great name guard anymore. Number 15 overall pick, the New England Patriots. Trey Lance would probably be like the best pick here. But, I mean, if you watch the Patriots video that I dropped last week, you would know that I believe that Bill Belichick isn't going to draft a quarterback. I don't think he's in for a rebuild, as he shouldn't. I mean, we don't know how many years this guy has left. He wants a veteran QB, so Lance is immediately off the board. Pitts here would be a dream. That'd be so cool to see. But, you know, Jalen Waddle at 15 is definitely a steal. Number 16th overall pick, the Cardinals were definitely devastated when J.C. Horn got picked off the board. Now that Patrick Peterson is definitely gone, where do I think they go? I think you just help out the offense. I really think you just help the offense out as much as you can. And, how you do that to me is you pick a running back, Travis Etienne or Najee Harris. Let's look at their current running back. That is Chase Edmonds. Kenyon Drake is currently a free agent, and I don't really see him coming back. So you have Chase Edmonds. He's definitely more of that combo back. Travis Etienne is the combo back. You want the power back. Give me Najee Harris, running back from Bama. Load up that offense. Load up the offense. That's all I got to say. Number 17th overall pick, the Raiders are here. Their pass rush was abysmal last season. It was fucking awful. Give me Kwity Paye, edge rusher from Michigan. Kwity Paye did fall a good bit. I do like Kwity Paye myself, and I hope him, Crosby, and Clelin Ferrell can kind of mesh really well together, because, I mean, as Clelin Ferrell has kind of disappointed, he's still young, and Crosby is also still very young. Number 18 overall pick, the Dolphins. I kind of screwed the Dolphins' chances of getting a really good receiver with picking Penei Sewell, but I don't regret it one bit. I think they need a great rushing game, and they were definitely devastated when the Cardinals picked Najee Harris. So now it's like, shit, are you going to pick Travis Etienne? Because as that's not a bad pick to me, I think they already have Gaskin, who is that combo back, and I really like Gaskin myself. So, well, I guess with the Dolphins' 18th pick, you kind of got to patch up the damage that you did for no reason. Give me Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and the damage I'm speaking of is getting rid of Kyle Van Noy 1 year into a 4-year deal after he had a great season. I guess the reasoning behind it is they wanted to give Van Ginkel more playing time, and I like Van Ginkel, but really? Like, I think you need a linebacker there to help patch up the hole that they, for some reason, just got rid of. Number 19 overall pick, the Washington football team is here. Dude, without a without a doubt, they picked Trey Lance, quarterback from North Dakota State. We got Alex Smith, who has already been cut. Heineke did get a 2-year deal. Props to Heineke. Cashed out after that one game. Good for him. But I don't think you go into the season just rocking with Heineke, you know, especially if Trey Lance is on the board. I don't think you can do that. That just would not sit right. Number 20 overall pick, we have the Chicago Bears. All the reports from the Bears have basically been saying, oh, they're going all in for Russell Wilson. They're going all in for, they're going all in for Deshaun Watson. And, yeah, as that's cool and all, this is if the draft are happening today and they don't have those guys. So, assuming they strike out on those guys, which I think they will, give me Mac Jones, quarterback from Bama. Definitely a reach there. I think Mac Jones is good. But I would like to say this real quick. Please stop comparing this guy to Tom Brady. Like, dude, Mac Jones is the consensus number 4 quarterback in this draft class. Like, Jesus, that is the consensus. And some of the fucking idiots that are on like ESPN are like, oh, this dude's Tom Brady. It's like, man, shut the fuck up. God damn, those shows suck. I feel bad for people that watch those shows. Number 21st overall pick, we have the Indianapolis Colts with Anthony Costanzo retiring. I think you got to go tackle here. Cosme is the best on the board. Tevin Jenkins or Jalen Mayfield would also be really good picks here. But give me Samuel Cosme, tackle out of Texas. Number 22, the Tennessee Titans. Very, very, very similar to the Raiders. Their edge rush is abysmal. I do think Gregory Rousseau would be a really interesting landing spot here. I think Vrabel could probably mold him. But in my opinion, you go with the dude who is more sound. You go with the dude who has more technique. That's Jalen Phillips, Gregory Rousseau's teammate. I do plan on making a Greg Rousseau video. That's going to be really fun to me. Number 23rd, the 23rd overall pick. We have the New York Jets. They got their quarterback with the last pick. I think you surround him with weapons. Rashawn Bateman. They do need receivers. Bateman would not be a bad pick. Terrace Marshall would not be a bad pick. But you don't have a running back right now. Frank Gore is probably out of there. So give me Travis Etienne, running back from Clemson University. That would be really cool to see, them getting Wilson and Travis Etienne. I think that's cool as shit. Number 24 overall pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They could go tackle here, but a report did come out that Pittsburgh plans on going into the season with Zach Banner as the starting left tackle. Me being a Steelers fan, I guess, hell, we're not going to make a Super Bowl run, so I'm cool with it. Not really, but Pittsburgh, with the retiring of Marquise Pouncey, you have got to fill that hole at center. Landon Dickerson is my favorite center in this draft. With Pouncey retiring, you can't go into the season and just with fucking BJ Finney as your center. You simply can't do that. And you can't wait to the second round to get one of these centers, because odds are they are going to be gone. You get the best center on your board. That is Landon Dickerson. Number 25 overall pick, the Jags. We saw them get their franchise guy, and we're going to have to see them get one of their franchise tackles. Where is he at? Liam Eichenberg, tackle from Notre Dame. I think he'd fit right in there. Number 26 overall pick, we have the Cleveland Browns. Speaking of Gregory Rousseau, give me Gregory Rousseau to the Browns. The reason I have this pick is because I think it would be so cool. So cool to see Myles Garrett and Gregory Rousseau in the same front seven, in the same defensive line. That is so incredibly scary if, this is a major if you can get Gregory Rousseau to be the player that he can be, because he's a physical specimen, but the way he played in college was just bull rush. And most of the time it worked because you're playing against college guys. But when you're playing against the NFL guys, you have to have more technique. Hopefully Myles Garrett and the boys up in Cleveland can do that for Gregory Rousseau. This is such a high risk, high reward pick. I guess not really high risk, because I do think Rousseau's going to be good regardless, but the reward is incredibly high. Incredibly high. Gregory Rousseau, if he lives up to his potential, and Myles Garrett, who has lived up to his potential, oh my God. Number 27 overall pick. I really think they got to focus on their offense with this, whether that be getting a receiver in Bateman or Marshall. I think they go tight end, and I think that tight end is Pat Freiermuth from Penn State. The reason I have them doing that and not picking receiver when they need receiver is because they also desperately need tight end help. The reason that their offense wasn't as successful last season, which is kind of crazy to say because their offense was actually very successful last season, but the reason it was not back to Lamar Jackson MVP level was because, the scheme got busted. They had to trade Hayden Hurst, and I forgot the other tight end's name, so excuse me, but he got hurt really early into the season, so he couldn't play. It was up to Mark Andrews. They had to do more passing stuff, and it's clear to see the passing stuff does not work as well as the rushing stuff. So help out the rushing stuff. Get a tight end in there who can help said rushing stuff. Number 28 overall pick, we have the New Orleans Saints. They're in a tough spot. like, it's going to be so cool to see how they, just get around their cap hit. It's going to be really interesting to me. I think they go cornerback. Where is he at? Because I don't think Marshawn Lattimore is going to stay on the team. Where is he at? Give me Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback from Florida State. I really like the way he plays. It's just fun to watch to me. Number 29 overall pick, we have the Green Bay Packers. I will have a Packers video out tomorrow because they're such an interesting subject to me. And just in this weird, because the Packers are in such a weird spot right now where they want to win now, of course, but they have their future quarterback when they already have the MVP. So you got to walk this fine line between going win now and preparing for the future. And the way I think that you do that is picking Kadarius Toney, wide receiver from Florida. It helps out the now because it gives Rodgers another weapon, and Kadarius Toney is definitely dynamic, and it helps out the future because Kadarius Toney is definitely dynamic. And by the time Jordan Love gets in and has the keys to the team, Kadarius Toney will hopefully already be a star. Sick card, dude. Number 30 overall pick, we have the Buffalo Bills. Javonte Williams here would not be a bad pick, but they need linebacker help alongside Tremaine Edmonds. Nick Bolton, Zaven Collins. Who do I like more? Zaven Collins, linebacker from Tulsa. Number 31 overall pick, the Chiefs offensive line. You could say, oh my God, it got exposed during the Super Bowl. I mean, it did get exposed, but it's because the whole team was hurt. So that's why I have them picking Wyatt Davis, interior offensive lineman from Ohio State. Their whole team was hurt, but it doesn't dismiss the fact that, well, they need one, a starting guard, and two, guard depth. So that fits both. Number 32, the Buccaneers. We got no clue what the Buccaneers are going to do during the draft because let's just say Ndamukong Suh leaves, then the interior off, and you need some D tackles in there. Let's just say Chris Godwin leaves, then you pick one of the two receivers. Let's just say Shaq Barrett leaves and Azeez Ojulari becomes a very good pick. I think it's most likely that Ndamukong Suh leaves. And I also think, let's just say he doesn't, getting Christian Barmore there. One, Ndamukong Suh can help teach him for when he does retire, and hopefully by the time he retires, Barmore is a beast. Get them the best defensive tackle in this draft. That is the mock draft. The biggest winners of this draft, definitely the Jaguars, dude. They got Trevor Lawrence plus a tackle that fell to them at 25. They are a big winner. Washington is a big winner. The biggest losers in the draft, I don't really know. The Saints, they did have to resort to picking Asante Samuel Jr., so that's not really... I think it was the best pick that was on the board. Then another big winner was Jalen Waddle to the Patriots, Devontae Smith to the Giants. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me today. If you enjoyed this mock draft, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you like this video and want to see more videos like this, well, hit the subscribe button and then you'll see more videos like this. So that's gonna do it for me today. Hope you enjoyed and have a great